Hi. There are a lot of bosses in Hypixel Skyblock. Some of them are so easy you could probably beat them with a single click of a button. And some of them are so difficult that even I, yes, the best player in all of Hypixel Skyblock, haven't even beaten a single one. So today I'll be ranking every boss on a tier list. Here's how the ranking will work. I'll rank every boss from A to F. A for amazing, C for mid, and F means fail. Totally not fantastic, I promise. There's also a rabbit tier, which is higher than A tier. But before I continue, let me just say these videos take me a very long time. So please click the like button so that I can prove that I'm not wasting my time. Okay, back to the video. Alright, before we start slapping bosses onto your tier list, we need to get one. For my first tier list, I am thinking of something special. So here it is. It's supposed to be my pet rabbit, but as you can see, I'm clearly not good at building. Starting with the Arachne boss. It's a decent money making method for beginner players as it can drop 5,000 to 160,000 coins worth in soul string. An overall C tier for its early game friendliness. The Brood Mother exists and that's basically all I have to say. It's kinda like the Arachne boss but it drops nothing useful. D tier. Wait, no, E tier because it's a big nuisance for endgame players who need its bestiary. Wait, actually F tier because it takes basically a 1 hour for a single boss to spawn. Wait, no, G tier because I like cheeseburgers. The Protector, Holy, Unstable, Ender Dragon bosses all get a D tier from me. I think 3 Dragon armor sets that do exactly the same thing is a bit too much. I know I'm not rating the bosses armor sets right now, but let's be real, what are bosses without loot? Protector, Holy, and Unstable Dragon armor basically try to mimic Old Dragon but are way worse, which means Old Dragon gets a solid C. Similarly, Strong Dragon armor also gets a C since its armor is used for basically everything for early game combat as it gives a decent amount of strength and health. The Young Dragon gets an A cause its armor set makes you go fast, allowing you to go faster than whatever goes fast. It also speeds up forging a lot. The Superior Dragon gets a B as its drops do sell for quite a lot more than the others. Its armor set is like 10 times better than Strong Dragon armor, although it do be expensive though. The Wise Dragon gets a B tier cause it's a very wise dragon. Its armor, Wise Dragon armor, is the best early game mage setup as it gives a load of intelligence along with cutting all consumptions of mana into 2/3. And that's all the dragons. They are really all the same boss wise, but their loot is kinda different. The Endstone Protector gets a C since I like how the devs put a random mini boss in the middle of nowhere. But the Endstone Protector is kinda just hit it hard then it dies, end of the story. Moving on to the bosses on the Crimson Island. Blade Soul is a funny dude cause he shoots funny skulls that do funny damage, but his drops are not that funny so he gets a C tier. The Mage Outlaw gets a D cause it's neither funny or drops anything worth a single coin. It also has a very annoying shield phase which is just a few minutes of downtime. Oh yeah, did I mention the lasers that kill you if you touch it? The shield that kills you if you touch it? The lightning that kills you if you touch it? Yes, I get the idea, Mystic, you can move on. The Barbarian Duke has a lot of health and that's why people don't like it. But if you have a Hyperion, you could just cheese this boss from underneath his tower, or whatever you call the structure. Overall C tier. Then there's the Ashfang. This boss is more annoying than the like button not being pressed, I mean Blade Soul. This boss takes forever to complete and it does big damage. F tier. Wait no, I forgot no one does this boss fight. G tier, aka garbage. The Magma boss is a boss with too much health, and it can only be damaged by bows. Problem: bows no do big damage, meaning this boss takes way too much time to finish. E tier. At the northernmost tip of the Crimson Island, there is a dungeon-like boss called Kuudra. Currently, Kuudra has 5 tiers. Tier 1 and 2 Kuudra get a B tier cause they can actually print a decent amount of money with basically no requirements. Like, I can do this in poop armor. Wait, never mind. Plus, they're also very fun since you get to fight hordes of mobs. Tier 3 on the other hand gets a C tier cause you might as well do tier 4 which just makes a ton more coins. Inferno Kuudra, aka tier 5, gets to be the first in the rabbit tier since it is basically the best money making method in the entire game while being quite entertaining, unlike mining. In the Rift there are 3 main bosses which are the Leech Supreme, Bacte, and the Vampire Slayer. And seriously, these things are fun. The bosses have a ton of cool abilities and require much more skill than the average hit slap punch equal dead boss. It's like the devs had a $10 trillion budget to make these bosses. You got waves of slime that knock you back by 7 kilometers, flying vampires that one-shot you, and most importantly, John. The first boss in the Rift is the Lich Supreme. It has 4 phases, which are quite fun, but its drops are kinda useless after the initial quest, so this gets a B tier. I didn't know what to use for the tier list, so yeah. Anyways, on the other hand, Backtake gets an S tier for being a really big slime that does cool stuff. It's really unique and fun and has many chaotic phases and abilities. 5 out of 5 stars, highly recommend. The Vampire Slayer though. Oh my, this Slayer is my favorite one other than all my favorite ones. Tier 1 and 2 get C and all the other tiers get A cause they are really complicated and hard. Maybe too hard that I haven't even done a single tier 4. I also haven't tried yet. Before I move on, let me just say the Rift is very nice. All the bosses and quests are very unique comparing to literally everything else on Skyblock, so that means the Rift goes in the S tier. Yes, I'm putting dimensions on the tier list now, you can't stop me. Anyways, the Magma boss in the Blazing Fortress gets a rapid tier cause Technoblade made a video on it, and Technoblade good. Also, the boss do be gone though. In return of moving the boss, we basically got the same thing Ball. He spawns many henchmen, bats, Blaze, Magma Cubes, and even El Primo from Brawl Stars is here. This boss is quite boring though, cause all you do is shoot it with a funny pew pew bow and pin Ball in the corner, then he dies and drops nothing. C tier cause Crystal Nucleus. And with that out of the way, dungeon bosses time! Wait, why is the sound effect playing? It's supposed to be the siren. For the essence of time, I'll be combining Master Mode with the normal dungeons, starting with the Entrance Watcher. It really is E tier, that is. It's the introduction of dungeons, so that's why no one plays this boss more than once in their lifetime. Bonzo, on the other hand, gets a high tier E, cause it's not really fun and all you do is kill him. Then when he resurrects, kill him again. This floor is only good for leveling up and then moving on to the next floor, which is floor 2. This floor is mid cause the boss is decently hard for early game players and can make decent profit from Scarf Studies. C tier. Floor 3 on the other hand is a big W in Master Mode since it gives a lot of combat XP and prints even more money with Master Stars. Normal floor 3 sucks though. B tier cause Master Mode 3 carries. Floor 4 and M4 make double the profit as F3 and M3 respectively, thus its rating of B tier. But oh boy, Monkey Finder. Monkeys, aka totally very good Skyblock players, make the runs basically 1000 years, so this floor gets a C. Ooh, Monkey Finder. On the topic of Monkey Finder, did you know I'm actually Kata 482 from only using Party Finder? M5 and floor 5 get an A cause it's really fun and makes a lot of coins from all the Legion books that you drop. What do you mean by fun? You literally only hit it. I personally get to go AFK cause I can go tank and survive with the tank's ability, which makes me immune to damage. I can then use all the time I save from AFKing, pooping all over the place. Wait, what is this doing in my script? This floor is filled with waves of terracotta that deal thousands or even trillions of damage, and also big zombie. This gets a B tier cause M6 and F6 give a ton of Kata XP preparing you for both floor 7 and M7. It doesn't get an A tier cause it makes little money, I think. I have like one M6 completion. Floor 7 and M7 though get an automatic rabbit tier because of their complexity with 4 to 5 phases, and it's also very fun. They're basically just 4 bosses in one floor. But doing this floor is a massive gamble because anything good is very rare and everything bad is very common. Just look at this, minus 1 million coins, and that's all the dungeon stuff. Dungeons gets a 10 out of 10 cause you know it's PvP and I like PvP. Now here's the strongest boss in all of Hypixel Skyblock, Jerry. Well, most people don't consider him a boss, but I do, for some reason. And oh boy, is this boss hard. In fact, it's so hard that it doesn't even have a health bar. I'm going to put this in the rabbit tier above floor 7 cause this boss actually requires skill. Now moving on to the fishing bosses. Which Mystic, there are no bosses in fishing. Let's just call some of the fishing mobs bosses, okay? Yeah, good, fine, quality, superior, satisfactory. Dumpster Diver is nothing special, so that's why it's diving to the F tier. Get it? He's diving. The Carrot King is a decent early game money making method, thus it's spot in C tier. Water Hydras are always good as they can drop their heads that can sell for a decent amount of money. B tier. Same goes for the Sea Emperor with its Emperor Skulls. Now moving on to the lava bosses, we got Thunder, who gets an A tier as it can drop flashbooks and fill your thunder bottles for those big monies. But it's also kinda fun to fight. Like, look at all this thunder. The Fiery Scuttler gets an F because it doesn't want me to get a single drop for some reason, even though I've killed well over 100 of these guys. Otherwise, it'd get an A tier because it do make funny sounds. Lord Jabba's gets an automatic A because it has Mutro cool abilities. But you know what's cooler? The 100 million coin radioactive vial you can drop from killing Jabba's. Please, Jabba's, gimme. The Ragnarok also gets placed in the A tier because of its Mutro Grando abilities. It's fun, super cool, and also one-shots you. But unlike Jabba's, its drops kinda don't sell for that much, so actually B tier. Next, the semi-new Titanoboa and the Wiki-Tiki both get an A tier. They both look really funny and can drop some really expensive stuff. P.S. Please give me your 200 million coin drops. I really need it. The Rain Drake gets a D because it takes a really long time to kill and it gives basically nothing. Don't mind the footage, I couldn't spawn one. Oh yeah, it's also very rare. 0.086% to be exact. That's more rare than someone reading the terms and conditions before clicking I agree. Wait, no. The Great White Shark gets a B tier because it makes decent money. And that's all. No cool abilities. On the other hand, the Philibagibingimbinga is very cool. What I mean by that is it's not. It has 500 million health, and usually that's completely fine if the boss actually drops decent loot. But this mob drops completely nothing. Its only purpose is for the Kuudra Faller quest, F tier. Now it's time for the best part of all, Slayers. You got zombies that have the power to summon storms of lightning that instantly incinerate anything inside it. Spiders that do spider things, vicious wolves that deal loads of true damage, endermen that are strong enough to one-shot even the strongest of players, vampires that have billions of abilities, and last of all, Blazes. Tier 1 and 4 Revenants get a D tier. They're really simple and not engaging at all. However, Tier 5 Revenants get an A tier because it's the first of the hard bosses and it's actually fun to do. But it do be really greedy though. Spider Slayer Tier 1 and 3 get a D because they're really not worth doing other than the completions. While Tier 4 Spider gets a C solely because it's the only way to reach Spider Slayer level 9, which is not really worth getting. Sven Tier 1 to 3 are D tier due to their lack of usefulness. Sorry little Svens, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. However, Tier 4 Svens goes up to B tier because it can make a lot of money and some players find it really fun. Apparently. Someone I know has 4.5 million XP, and to put that in perspective, that's nearly 200 million coins just from starting the Sven bosses. I'm personally still waiting for the Tier 5 Sven to be released so that I can reach level 9 in half the time. But knowing my luck, that would be like 2070. As for the Enderman Slayer, Tier 1 and 3 get a D tier. They're kind of fun, but not really worth completing. Tier 4 Enderman, on the hand, gets an A tier because it's challenging, fun, and cool, even though it usually one-shots me. But this boss basically drops nothing. Blaze Slayer Tier 1 to 3 also get a B tier. Why? Well, I haven't even completed a single Tier 2 yet, but I hear it's worth the challenge as it can make a lot of money. So yeah. By the way, Tier 4 gets an A because it's one of the best money making methods in the entire game, but it's only for endgame players. Anyways, I already talked about Vampire Slayer a few minutes ago, so I'll not talk about it again. Lastly, the Diana mobs. The Minos Hunter, the Siamese Cat, both fall into F tier. They both drop nothing useful, and I'd rather them not exist in the game. The Giga Construct gets an automatic F, because that's the lowest I can give it. Otherwise, it'll be all the way down there. While it's technically not the worst, it's incredibly annoying to kill and usually ends up killing you instead. And that's not really good, is it? The Minotaur gets a solid C tier since it has a chance to drop a funny stick that currently sells for 2 million coins. Champions also land in B tier because it can drop the very rare Minos Relic. As for the Inquisitor, it's a B tier too. It took me so long to get its drops. Inquisitor, please give me, I'll put you in A tier if you give me book. Oh my goodness. Lastly, for real. This time I saved the best for last. The Headless Horseman. Rabbit tier, no question asked. And yeah, that's all the bosses in Hypixel Skyblock. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to click the like button and also join the Discord in the description so that you'll never miss a single video or stream. Thank you, channel members, and see you next time. Peace! If you haven't watched my intro video, you should really do so, it's really good.